adopt this local law first and then on the budget? Yep. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilman here. Supervisor Ryan here. Councilman Brown here. Councilman Galusha here. Okay, this meeting is for the public hearing and a resolution to adopt the local law to override the tax levy limit. I'd like someone to introduce this resolution. Okay. And seconds it. Okay, we've already introduced the local law to override the tax levy limit. It was put in the paper, and now we just need to adopt it. So it's whereas the purpose of this law is to override the town of Thurman's tax levy limit for fiscal year 2023, and it is necessary that the town of Thurman be able to adopt a budget requiring a tax levy greater than the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2023 because of increased costs. Whereas this local law is enacted pursuant to General Municipal Law Section 3-C5 and is attached to this resolution for your review, be it resolved that the town board hereby overrides its tax levy limit for the fiscal year 2023 and is authorized to adopt a budget requiring a tax levy greater than that calculated according to General Municipal Law Section 3-C3C. And be it further resolved that this local law only applies to fiscal year 2023 and shall take effect upon filing with the Secretary of State. Is there any discussion? No? All right. We could do all in favor?
Aye.
Who did the second? I didn't hear that.
Ed.
I didn't hear any other resolutions.
No, that's the only resolution. Yes. And then the next thing we have that I put in your packet is the preliminary budget. Some numbers are changed. They're on the right-hand side, highlighted in blue. The real property tax amount that we will need for the general fund has gone down to $314,953. All the other revenues stayed the same. Oh no, for refuse and garbage, because you did pretty high this year, I put 18.5 down. You already have over 18,000.
You've been doing well. We can do better.
I increased also the interest and earnings for the New York class, because that did well over the 800, but just to be safe, I put 800 instead of 3. And then the rental of real property, we have been renting the hall more often. I just bumped that up to 375. And programs for the aging, I reduced that to 1,500. I'm not really sure what's going to happen if they do have the emergency transportation or bus. They're all trying to work on something for that. On the next page, I adjusted the wage for the justice to give her the 3.5% increase that everybody else got. And I reduced the equipment. They haven't used this code for anything. There's nothing against that code. I put 1,300 just in case, but they did get a new computer, and I believe the state pays for their computer. We don't have to pay for that. Okay. And I don't know what else they may need, so I reduced it. I corrected the secretary's wage to equal the modified budget.
Correct.
Yep. And engineer contractual, I took the $6,000 from Office of the Aging for the transportation and moved that over to the engineer. We will have a little bit of additional engineer costs because of the closing of the C&D. They have to do monitoring. So on page 3, I reduced burden of the aging, like I said, and I gave the 3.5% to the landfill attendant there. That's why that number's a little different. And I also separated out the equipment for the garbage truck payment. And then on page 4, I did get the workman's comp, which unbelievably, our workman's comp invoice went way down. Yep, because it's based on so many years of someone who's been hurt. They stay on there for a few years before they come off. And now we only have a bill of a little over $4,000. Last year it was almost $12,000. So.
So our workman's comp is only $336 this year?
For general fund and on the highway, most of the injuries happen on the highway side. It's calculated 2 ways. One is based on payroll and another one is based on claims. So I just do like a spreadsheet analysis and assign a percentage based on both of those numbers. That's where I come up with that. So they have workers' comp of $4,239. The amount of property tax to be raised for the highway is $2,000 lower. The interest and earnings, I increased to $1,500. They are well over that in interest. I thought it was a safe number. And then for their expenditures, like I said, workman's comp went down. I did plug in everybody's health insurance costs, so these are close to actual numbers. So the medical insurance went down to 77 from the 80, but the retirees went up 5,000, so that went from 60,000 to 65,000, which brings the rate to 7.18. And then the last page is a letter that I wrote for Thurman residents. It just explains why the rate is 718, what we want to do with the money, mostly the highway garage. The Department of Labor came in to inspect the highway garage and there were quite a few violations. The ventilation system, the furnace, the electric, the bay doors, the stairs, the ramp, the main beam, and the lack of sufficient space to walk around the trucks were all things that they noted. And the cost to do those repairs will be excessive. Also, the trucks do not fit in the garage with the plows on them, so the crew has to go bring the trucks out, put the plows on, take them off to bring them back in every single day that they plow. Yeah, you know that.
That's not very much fun.
No, I know. And not all the equipment fits in the garage and has to be kept outside in the weather. So we're getting a new loader, we're getting a lot of new equipment, and there's no space.
And also, you don't have a place to keep it clean and wash.
Right?
You know, that's a big thing.
To wash it?
Yes.
Yeah, the new garage will have that.
You need some place to keep that machinery clean
Yeah,
and washed up.
the new garage does have that in the
Yes,
middle
it
of it,
does.
the drain.
Yep, it does.
Plans and, so another couple things I mentioned here is a new highway garage at the landfill location will open up plenty of opportunities for the town, such as running water and a bathroom for the landfill employees, eliminating the need for the porta-john. That's been an expense for years. And the old highway garage can then become a free store, and that water can be relocated to the youth building. Then the youth building bathroom will be functional and a concession stand can be built for use at events. The ice rink was delivered yesterday, and I'd also like to see sledding, cross-country skiing, equipment rental, and a concession stand for hot chocolate and food. And this would also be a source of revenue for the town. And I did want to mention the ice rink was purchased with Generous Acts grant, so none of the town money was spent on that. The town also has 3 large payments due each year for the new highway truck, the new loader, and the garbage truck. These total $157,766 per year for 2023 and 2024. Then all 3 will be paid off. Once the garbage truck arrives, the town board has discussed going to curbside garbage pickup. Residents who pay for this service will save on that monthly fee, and for most residents, the savings will exceed their increase in taxes. The C&D is required to be closed within 10 years, and the town is required to put $50,000 each year away toward the cost of the closing. And the C&D must be monitored by the engineer throughout the process. Town board would also like to see the cracked sidewalk repaired and the town hall building painted. All of these expenses take money and planning, and I hope the residents will support these additional expenses and understand that a few $100s in additional tax will make a huge difference in our town. And that is all I have for preliminary, unless there's numbers you want to go over or change or anything. What about you? Anything you want to do? Okay. Do you want to have another workshop? Do you want some time to interact with any of the public and then have another workshop? Or do you want to vote for this to become the preliminary and we can still change it?
Doug, you weren't here at the last meeting, so if you had time to look at all of this, and are you comfortable with? Comfortable. Okay.
Do you think we should, or should we go back to people?
Well, we can have this be the preliminary and still make changes. It doesn't mean it's set in stone.
I don't think I would find any changes. People might talk about it.
People should at least be,
It seems like the people want to talk about it, they figure.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
but has anybody even come in to pick up a budget?
Has anybody picked up budget?
No, I have it on the board, but
Yeah,
on
I
the
see
board,
that
I
every
have
day.
nobody.
It's on the meter board sign too. I mean, people know that it's available.
Tuck is the only one that's asked to see it.
Well, I don't know, were you here when I went over these numbers? The tax rate in 2018 was 4.07. 2019, it was 4.21. In 2020, it was 4.89. It went up 68 cents a thousand. 2021, it was 4.29, but without fund balance, it would have only went up 44 cents to 5.33. That would have been the real rate. In 2022, the rate was 4.94 because of fund balance, but without fund balance, it would have been 6.75, going up 42 cents. And now with the rate we have, 7.18, it's 43 cents higher than what it would have been without fund balance. So it is kind of, yeah, but it's, yeah, right. It's sort of staying kind of level as far as increasing, but to use fund balance now, when we're trying to get a garage, I would think that, to have money in the bank, if we're gonna go for a loan, or we're gonna go for a grant, if we don't have collateral and matching money, yeah.
And we should have a fund balance anyway. You don't want to be.
Yeah, well, right now we have 700,000 plus we've earned almost $3,000 in interest. That's what's in our bank, so. Yeah, and we'll see where we're at as we get closer. Once I close out the month of October, and we kind of know what's coming, because we still do have the additional tax for the truck, and we also have to pay for the loader. That's about 50,000, and we also have a couple other big. Oh, there was the blasting that was done over on, I think, Dibbick. Yeah, that's 30,000. So I have to know what's coming in, big items, to see where we're gonna be at. All right.
Do you want to vote on it? Yes. Move it to the tentative to the preliminary?
Okay, you would, okay. Was that a resolution though? We need a resolution, right? All right, we're gonna have a resolution to make this the preliminary.
Resolution to make the modified tentative budget the preliminary.
Yeah. So Ed, and who's the second? Doug is the second. All right, all in favor of making the modified tentative the preliminary budget? Say aye.
you send me an electronic version, via email so I can put it on the website?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is there anything else anyone wants to discuss? No? Okay. Motion to adjourn. You second it?
I second.
Motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, I was writing for, who did the motion?
Which one?
To adjourn.
Debbie.
I did, but Doug usually likes to do it. Doug will second it.
We need Debbie.
Wait, who seconded it? I'm all over here.
Debbie,
You
Debbie was
said
one
it.
and I second the
Okay, so we got 6:20.
motion. That's fine.
So we have no more meetings until our regular meeting?
Night.
The ninth, well, you're not gonna make that one.
All right.
Well, whatever, it's just, we're gonna be discussing the MS.
Let me get this off, so.
We should get an agenda out so that people know what is on the, what we're gonna discuss.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
All right, everybody have a good night.